This is Coach Hoger here with Real Martial Arts. Today we're going to be covering the cross. Now, the cross is typically considered like the knockout punch. And the reason why is because it is coming from your strong side typically. And when you're delivering this punch, you're not just trying to punch at the target, you're trying to punch through the target. The cross is also known as the number 2. So if you ever hear anybody say, throw the number 2, that typically refers to the cross. Now, when I'm sitting here throwing the cross, they say good stand-up starts at the feet. Most people think whenever you're just punching people, it's throwing with your arms and trying to hit. And yes, that is the final thing that you are going to throw with. But where you want to generate your force from is from the ground. Now, when they say generate your force from the ground, when I'm right here, I'm going to give you some concepts to work with. If I punch with just my arm, I only have the mass of my arm going into the target. Now, if I do that, I'd have to do it incredibly fast in order to be able to do any kind of damage. If I turn my hips, I have more weight behind the punch. Now, from what I understand, the formula for force is mass times acceleration, I believe. So right here, I have the mass of my body and the mass of my arm turning into the punch. So now, this is where they say generating force and good stand-up starts from the feet comes from. What I want to do, let me get back here, I want to pull my toes, my toenails, back to my shin bone like this. What that does is it now creates a surface that I can rotate the ball of my foot on the floor when I am throwing that punch, engaging my hips into the strike that I am throwing. So when I'm right here, I'm going to keep my chin down. I want to keep my hands up. And now I don't want to punch with the arm. I don't want to just punch with my body here. But what I want to do is I want to turn this foot and drive into the target. Now, when I turn this foot, I'm not just turning this foot like I'm on ice skates for show. What I want to do is like pull the toenails back to the shin bone. See how my toes are pulled back right here? I want to go ahead and push. You see that whole shift of weight that's happening? That's happening right here as I drive my fist, not simply into the target. I want to push through the target when I'm hitting with my cross, because I'm not simply trying to land my cross. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to crash into their head and crush the surface of what I'm hitting. So chin down, hands up, toenails back right here. See how my toes are up? Now from here, push off. And then when you throw the cross correctly, exhale, clench your abs whenever you're punching so your body hardens. Also, at the end of that punch, the thing I want to make sure that I am doing is that, again, I'm hitting with these top 2 knuckles. I have this muscle in my hand flex right here from pushing my thumb in. Notice when I'm right here again, I'm going to push off the back leg. I'm going to rotate my hip. So then after my hip rotates, I extend my cross and I let it go straight into my target. I want to also keep my other hand up. Let me turn here to the 45 so you guys can get a better view. I'm right here. Push. Act like you're throwing a shot put when you're doing that. Driving through your target, keeping your chin down, hitting with your top 2 knuckles. So notice, I'm right here. Push through the target. Another key thing I want to make sure I don't do is bring my chin over my knee and turn my leg into a pogo stick that can get kicked, as well as bring my face closer to their fist. I want to keep my head behind this line, so when I push, it's almost like I want to hit like an invisible wall on that rotation. I don't want to bring my chin out, because if I do, I can expose myself to my opponent being able to hit me with a better shot, because obviously if I'm leaning into the shot and their fist is coming into me, that would be like 2 cars colliding. I want to avoid that at all costs. So key components, let's go over them real quickly. Weight on the back leg. Pull your toenails back. Push off your back leg. Rotate on the ball of the foot. Extend the punch. Keep your chin down, looking down the barrel of the gun. Hitting with the top 2 knuckles. Clench your fist as tight as you can as it gets to that impact. Oh, and before I forget, don't do this. Because you see how, again, by bringing my arm up, this telegraphs the punch that I'm going to throw. I want to keep my elbow in. And again, like I said with the jab, it's like throwing ninja stars or throwing a frisbee. This is Sam Hoger here with Real Martial Arts. If you're in the Stafford area, feel free to come visit us. I'd love to have you come check us out over here at Total Performance Fitness. We're here 7 days a week. Classes are Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. If you can make it for the noon class, that would be wonderful as well for the executive hour. But remember, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., we have class 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'd love to see you here at Total Performance Fitness. I'll see you guys soon. And, whoosh.